Captain Planet. I can't believe that I actually wasted time playing this game. Not only is it difficult, it's unfair. But for those of you who don't remember, here's a little bit of a backstory.
Captain Planet was created in the early 90s by the Turner Broadcasting Station, also known as TBS. Ted Turner, the founder of TBS, who is also a dangerously psychotic man, came up with the idea of Captain Planet. And this show is the most politically correct, equality-pushing, eco-friendly public service announcement propaganda ever created.
And then they made a game based off this miserable pile of fuck. Why? They might as well just flush their money down the toilet.
This game has 5 levels, and each level has 2 parts. The first part has you flying around in the Planeteers jet in a side-scrolling shooting level, and the other part, you get to play as Captain Planet. However, I never got past the first part of the first stage. And the music for the first stage is just the same 5-second loop of 8-bit crap. Remember in Back to the Future where it played music that just looped over and over again? Well, it's the same thing here. This game, my God, is balls to the wall hard and completely unfair. The ship is destroyed if it touches anything, water, ground, and sometimes the air around enemies.
Now I know what you're thinking. It's a shooter game. It's supposed to be difficult. Well, yeah, and I agree. But I can get through games like Gradius, R-Type, and Thunder Force with absolutely no problem. Captain Planet has issues.
First we'll go into the weaponry. In the typical shooter, you either select your weapons from the start, or you get to collect them as you progress through the level. But in Captain Planet, you have 5 weapons, and all of them are a joke. They are too small and too slow, so you'll almost always miss your target. The first weapon is a fireball, which is your standard attack. Then you have a wave of water that does nothing. The next one is a wind attack. It surrounds the ship with 4 rapidly swirling tornadoes that destroy anything and is quite possibly the best weapon, but even enemies can get through it. Next is the earth attack, which drops boulders, so allowing you to carpet bomb the area. While there are applications to it, I haven't seen any. And last we have the heart beam, which shoots an extremely short beam under the jet. Again, another useless weapon. And all the weapons share the same energy meter. So if you think you can just use the wind attack to beat the game, you're wrong. Because once that's out of energy, all your weapons are out of energy. Movement is strange. If you go up or down, you stop on a dime. But if you move left or right, you glide to a stop instead. Yeah, some shooters have this mechanic as well, but not to this extent. And you can also turn around, which makes no sense. Sometimes enemy ships drop stuff, but it disappears really quick, giving you no time to collect it. And once it leaves the screen, it's gone, so you can't double back to get it, making the turnaround even more useless. And finally, and probably most literally, the biggest issue is the size of the sprites. They're either too big or too small. Look at the EcoJet, it's fucking huge. Even when compared to everything else on the screen, it's quite possibly the biggest thing on screen. Look at how small the trees are, they're puny, and when you compare it to the enemy ships, it's twice their size.
No wonder why it's easy to die. You're too big of a target!
I've only gotten to the second moving fortress, because as the game progresses, there's just more and more shit on screen. The collision detection on the jet is horrible. The box is just way too big, ensuring that even a near miss will cause you to crash straight down. I did use the password system to get to the second part of the stage, and it's just as bad. You get to play as Captain Planet, flying through a polluted factory. You can only take about 3 hits before you die, and using your powers will drain your health bar. And I eventually got to a part that was blocked off, and I couldn't get past it because Captain Planet is a pussy.
The rest of the game is the same rinse and repeat cycle, and like the show, Captain Planet the game sucks and sucks hard. In fact, it sucks liquid shit through a straw.